Hello and welcome to another edition of Islamic Finance Weekly, where we discuss the key developments in the industry and opportunities for Nigeria to tap into. For this edition, I have with me Mr. Tajudeen Sekoni, MD CEO of Al-Barakah Microfinance Bank. Thank you so much for coming into our studio.
Thank you, Vicky, for having me.
Can you give us an overview regulatory framework around Islamic finance that makes it a viable alternative source of financing?
Okay, thank you very much. Islamic finance is an alternative financing system that is anchored on divine rules that is based on Islamic jurisprudence, that is based on Sharia. It is alternative because it is premised on the defined, like I said. It's a system that may be regarded as fair system that is based on risk sharing, profit sharing, and as well as loss sharing. Now, it is a viable alternative because the defined law from one side of it, that is Islamic injunctions, but that's why we have non-interest banking that is premised on Islamic jurisdiction. Then the available regulations and laws that back it up in Nigeria is first and foremost is 1991 Act as amended that talks about profit sharing. That is one. Number two is that the CBN equally released guidelines on non-interest bank in Nigeria. That was January 2011. We equally have in the capital market, we have the SEC regulations of 2007. So with all this, now make Islamic Bank to be fully on ground in Nigeria. In addition is that the word now, Islamic finance, is now taking grant because it could be dated back to 1963 in Egypt when it was first of all started. Okay. Yes. Then Nigeria, the evolution came up as a result of economic crisis in 2008 when we had the world economic crisis. So it is a very viable alternative because it's based on fair sharing, fairness is based on business without coercion, because Islamic bank or Islamic finance is cover 4 broad areas. We have Islamic finance, which is one aspect. We have Islamic capital market, where we have the promotion of the sukuk. Then we equally have Islamic social financing, which is we have the zakat, the sadaqah, as well as waqf. Then the last one is takafu, which is has to do with Islamic insurance. All these made up of Islamic finance.
That was insightful. Thank you so much. Non-interest banking is gaining greater attention in the global and domestic financial market space. How prepared is Al-Barakah Microfinance Bank in deepening this market?
As at now, the total assets of non-interest finance in over the world is over $2.4 trillion US dollar, and it is envisaged that by year 2023, it will probably have grown to $3.8 trillion at the annual growth rate of 7.7. And if you look at the world, they are like Malaysia. Malaysia happens to be the hub of NIB now. And even in London, there are so many of these Islamic banks that are being patronized and coming up in London and some other countries. So in Nigeria, it's going to be, as Al-Barakah, we are going to deepen it because in such a way that we are focusing on bank and on the bank who are not interested in interest-based, who have hot interest because of the interest of the conventional that has to do with the conventional banking. So most of these on bank and on the bank, they are predominantly Muslim, and because of their faith, they are not ready to come into the banking sectors without considering their faith. It's going to be deepening also because of the issue relating to riba that people, yes, that is interest. Then issue relating to gambling, then issue relating to, because Islamic norms, Islamic norm, the norm of Islamic ethics has to do with issue relating to interest, to gambling, to excessive risk, as well as that's to talk about mutual corporations, which is Takafu.
Thank you so much. So from your response, you mean Al-Barakah Microfinance Bank will deepen into this market maybe next year, or which year do you think you want to look into it? Is it next year, 2020, or when?
We are already propagating it and we are already into it. Okay. And part of what we have done is that we have digitalized operation of Al-Barakah, okay, because we are in the era of technology, yes, and that's, we believe, that will take us, because we talk of technology and science, they are confirming Islam, they are confirming some injunctions of the Quran. We have in the Quran injunction that says that you use devices to achieve goal. We have injunctions in Quran that also speak to issue of devices that are put on fixed on the neck of man, okay, that has to do with recording. Yeah. So when you now talk of technology, definitely Islam has already, talk about it. And these are the ways we believe we can, using non-interest microfinance bank, to deepen the market.
How will Al-Barakah Microfinance Bank utilize Islamic finance products in deepening financial inclusion in Nigeria?
Now, Islamic finance products, first and foremost, is that the non-interest bank, whether macro or micro, we are only doing, primarily, there are two basic products, which has to do with issue of financial intermediation. Banks do financial intermediation. That is, it is transferring of, we transfer savings surplus unit from savings surplus unit to the saving deficit unit. So in that wise, we now use, for what make it different from conventional is that we make use of Islamic contracts to do this financial intermediation of the banking. What are the contracts? They are musharaka, that is joint ventures, whereby the bank and the other investors, they both contribute the capital, they both share the profit, they both share the loss, they both share the risk. That is musharaka. It's another instrument that can be used, to propagate the product. Is we may call it murabaha. That is, murabaha is cost plus markup. We have mudoroba, that is partnership, yes, where we have the mudarib and as well as Robul Mal. The Robul Mal is the person that's putting the money down, while the mudarib is the one that is managing the affair. In that wise, it's only profit that are shared between the two parties, where the loss is usually borne by usually carried by the provider of the fund. So there are other Islamic instruments like service providing, like ijara, where the issue of rent coming. We have other, like, that has to fit in, depends on the particular sector we are looking. We are looking at agricultural sector now. The Islamic contract or product that's fitting that one is salam. It's salam. While manufacturing, we talk of istisina. So we have this uniqueness in Islam that has to fit every particular business or sector that come around.
Thank you very much, sir. So in terms of financial regulation, what would you like to see more from the CBN in the area of providing a right regulatory framework for the growth of non-interest market space?
Let me first and foremost commend the effort of CBN. They have really done very well in the industry, and the entire financial industry in general. First and foremost, they have provided some regulations that has to really, assist in deepening the market. Number one, the regulation of the CBN has released about two different liquidities instruments in non-interest bank, space. And in addition to that, there is this another regulation CBN has recently released on the credit bureau that will checkmate the serial borrowers. The security bureau will enable the bank or enable whichever form of bank to search for the credit profile of any customer that comes in. So it's part of the way the CBN has assisted. In another way, they have equally assisted in the area of having regulation that has to speak to issue of a credit registry, whereby the customer will have no opportunity to use the same collateral for more than one bank. Once you have pledged the collateral for a particular facility, you cannot use it for that. So, however, they still need to do more. Number one, we want to say that the CBN should equally, release regulations or provide regulations in the area of recover. What do I mean by recover? Recover means that today we have some customers, when they are owing bank A, they will not keep their money in that bank A again. They will keep money in bank B and bank C. But if you have a policy that wherever your money is, once you are owing one bank, you automatically, using the technology, you should be able to debit your account. So that kind of what we expect from the CBN, from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Another we want is that to deepen the NIB market, non-interest bank market, they should equally create enabling environment or regulations and policies that will allow those who are having conventional license and they are yearning for conversion on transformation. They can transform from their conventional status to full-fledged non-interest banking. So it's part of what is expected from them. Then again, the CBN should equally come in the area of providing probably anchor borrower support for other than the agricultural sectors. So these are the areas, just providing enabling environment for, because there is always people who want to get facility because of non-interest aspect. They are willing, but most of these people they need support from the CBN and the government.
How prepared is Al-Barakah Microfinance Bank for the potential disruption of the domestic lending market by telcos, fintech, and Islamic financing institutions?
Yes, fintech is simply the financial technology. Like I said, technology and science, they are confirming Islam, because so many injunctions, like I've said. If you go to Quran chapter 55, verse 33, talk about using technology or using device to achieve goal. Also, when you go to Quran chapter 17, verse 13 to 14, recorders are fixed on the neck of man, just to record. So, this fintech issue to us is not a problem, because we are already keen in. We have digitalized the operation of Al-Barakah. We are operating digital financial services, because fintech has to do with digital or virtual, financial transactions. So now, our bank, we are trying to leverage on this technology, and we are not making any fear, because the issue of transformation, or the world is not static, is very dynamic. If you look at medium of exchange, in the olden days, during the time of our forefathers, we started from trade by barter, then moved to cowrie, then we started using paper money. Now, today, technology is coming up. We are talking of means of exchange that has to anchor on digital, means of exchange that have to anchor on digital or virtual. So the best thing is to be creative and innovative, because on our own side, when you are creative and be prepared for transformation that will be coming, or for new things, innovation that will be coming from time to time. So truly, the telcos and fintechs, yes, they are equally doing, like we have online lenders, we have cases of online lenders, and the area that is people are fearing of is the area probably is going to affect banking, is going to affect lending, is going to affect payments, as well as financial management system. But by and large, there's nothing one can do than to be prepared and key into it. and able to take part fully in the market.
So, the president of Islamic Development Bank will visit Nigeria by 2020. So what do you think should be the major point of discussion when he visits Nigeria?
Well, what we expected them is to have kind of collaborations and networking, how those of us, maybe I regarded us as local content, will be supported in the area of capacity building and in the area of grants that will assist, because locally, the Nigerian market, most of the funds we are getting are short-term funds and very, very expensive. So I will expect them, when they are coming, to come with support in the area of capacity building, in the area of grants.
Also foreign investors to come into Nigeria and the local market.
Yes, we welcome them, because foreign investors, they are going to bring in capitals, and there are a lot of opportunities they can tap. If you look at Nigerian populations, most especially we have predominantly Muslims, that even non-Muslim are equally part of the, because non-interest bank is not only meant for Muslim, it's for the emancipation, economic emancipation of the humanity in general. So when they come, they will surely have their own share of the market and gain.
Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And that will be all for today's edition on this program. You can send questions and comments to news@proshng.com and reporter@proshng.com. Also, you can engage us on our social media handles displaying on the screen. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.